It might not surprise you to know that lead climbing is fairly out of my comfort zone, but when Depot Climbing opened their new lead wall, Big Depot, I headed over to see what all the fuss was about ropes. I spent the day with Depot athlete Lucy, pushing through my fear of being in a harness to see if a boulderer could keep up on roots. So we are at the newly opened Big Depot in Leeds. This is primarily a lead facility. It's brand new. It looks really cool. As you come in, right in front of you there's like this massive steep wall with like overhang and all the lead on it. I think it's a really impressive feature. And already I'm seeing lots of holds that I've never seen before, which is always quite exciting. I feel like the style, I mean, I don't claim to lead climb often, but I feel like the style of holds is different to any kind of like lead facility I've seen in the UK. For all like macros, I can imagine it's quite like three-dimensional climbing, which should be quite interesting. If we come over into this area, we've got some slabs, my fave. And then we've got a load of auto belays and some top rope. Usually in the centre I feel they just like dot a couple in, maybe if you're lucky, of like some easy routes maybe as a warm-up, but on these I think the routes go all the way up to like 70 plus or something, so you could quite feasibly come by yourself and just have like a auto belay session if you didn't have a partner, or if you didn't fancy being social. I'm not here to boulder, but they do also have some bouldering upstairs, which I think you'll be able to see. Welcome to my comfort zone. This all does look very nice, but today we are here to lead climb. But first things first, we need to get some kit. So for lead climbing, there are a couple of extra things that you need to get started, and I feel that for some people that can feel a little intimidating, for me included. It's like, oh, I need a rope, I need like my belay plate, I need to know how to belay. Actually, it's pretty simple. You can either buy everything you need here or hire everything you need here if you don't want to invest straight off the bat. Maybe you've not tried lead climbing before, or you don't try lead climbing that often and you're not sure you want to invest. You can hire the kit here, and then when you're sure that you want to take up lead climbing as an additional discipline, then you can buy all the stuff you need. But today, we don't have any of the stuff, so we're going to go down to the shop and get kitted out.
We've got a few different types of climbing here, bouldering, which you've already done so far. Yes. Then we've got auto belays, which you will need a harness for. Okay. That's pretty much it. When it comes to top rope climbing, where we've got the rope in place already, you'll need a belay device and a friend to be able to belay you, and we've got those here. And then finally we've got lead climbing, which is where you're clipping the clips as you go up, and for that you'll need your own rope, which we sell over there. So let's start with the harness. Yeah, let's get you kitted up from there, just over here. So in terms of the different types of harnesses, we're not looking for anything too fancy. No. Nice and basic is what we're after. So the Momentums are the ones that we rent out. So if you've been climbing on the ropes here, then they're the ones that we rent out. Okay, nice and comfortable. And we can try on a few of these if you like. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Is there different considerations for like indoor, outdoor?
Yeah, so basically
how light it is?
Lightness, durability. One big thing is the number of gear loops that you have. Indoor harnesses generally tend to have 4 loops, whereas outdoor ones you're looking at 5 to 7. Just because you want more loops for gear, essentially. Okay. So in terms of indoors, it doesn't matter how many we've got. So we can start with a nice budget price at 55 quid. Okay. The Momentum women's harness, and we can try them on. Does that sound all right with you?
Yeah, that sounds good. We're off to a good start. Just twisted my leg loop, had to get called back. It's been a long time since I've been in a harness, but I'm pretty excited. I think I just I'm gonna get a little refresher in how to tie in, how to belay, and then I think I'm gonna hit the wall.
You just shuffle your hands through that device. Keeping your hands below the belay device is really important, so you can control the speed. You don't have to open it by bringing the rope up. We just control the speed and let the weight of the climber take it through. Okay. That's absolutely fine. For us, the control of this dead rope. So when you're taking in the rope, you understand that you have to control the dead rope underneath the belay device, which you absolutely can do. Okay. And your knot's great, harness is on. Perfect. And your auto belay is fine. So
be let loose.
You're ready to go climbing.
Woohoo, thank you. Before we hit the wall, I just wanted to say thank you to Big Depot for inviting us down to check out the centre. We had a really good time learning the ropes. If you're interested in rope climbing, then the depot are actually running an introductory offer at the Big Depot where you can get 50% off the Learn the Ropes classes until the end of June using the code GOBIG. If you're looking at getting into lead climbing, if you think it would add something a little spicier, an extra dimension to your climbing, then you can use the link in this card, which should have popped up in the top. Click there and you can book on and get started using the code GOBIG. For this section of the video, I am joined by a guest. I'm here with Lucy. Lucy is a climber and a depot-sponsored athlete, and she's also on the GB Paraclimbing team. So today, we are going to do some climbing together. Lucy is currently in training for, it's Innsbruck, did you say your next big comp?
Innsbruck and then World Champs.
Yeah, so she's very kindly agreed to give me some of her time, which should be doing more important things like training, to try and help me with some of the ropes of climbing. So we figured we would start off on the auto belays, and then does it sound good to head on to some top rope?
Yeah, I think so.
And then I feel like we should head ultimately to lead, which is kind of like the big boss of the video, I feel. So you're pretty experienced with top rope and lead, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I prefer top roping just because it's safer, but I really enjoy leading. I like the kind of the thrill element of it and not knowing when I'm going to fall.
Okay, yeah, there's two types of people in the world. I want to enjoy the thrill element of it, but I'm getting there. But I figured maybe today you could help me with kind of like the fear aspect of things. And as you're like competing on the international circuit and obviously like training for these big like international competitions, what kind of difference does it make to have a facility like this? Because this is quite unlike pretty much any lead wall that I've been to in the UK. It's like got a very different feel to it.
No, it makes a massive difference. A lot of climbing centres I can't access, usually because of the stairs or there's no accessible parking.
Yeah.
So like I can train here independently, I can park, I can get out my car, I can get onto the matting because there's a nice ramp. Also the setting's really good. We've been working really closely with Depot, so they kind of understand a bit how I move. So there's more routes that I can do than not do, which is really nice. And it means I can train consistently, not have to worry about access and just kind of be able to access the space like everyone else.
Yeah.
And obviously having access to the lead wall is insane. There's so much to climb.
Yeah.
I never run out of options. I'm too pumped. I might have to sit back on the rope.
Yeah, right. You mentioned really briefly the like categories. I wondered if you could kind of like clarify the different categories that there are for in like paraclimbing comps.
Yeah, okay. So paraclimbing is split down into categories to try and make it as fair as possible. So my category is RP1. So RP is range of power, and it goes 1 to 3, 3 being the least impaired, 1 being the most impaired. So I meet that criteria because I'm impacted by muscle power in all of my limbs quite badly. So the majority of my climbing is through my upper body to compensate for weakness. The AL is the category for leg amputees or seated climbers who don't use their legs at all, and then you've got upper limb, so UL, and that's the climbers who are AU, sorry, climbers that are impacted, so they might be an arm amputee or they might not have use of an arm. So it's really done to kind of make it fair, so you compete against people with a similar impairment, but you have to get a load of medical forms done, get classified by a doctor, and it's not open to all impairments. You've kind of got to meet certain criteria, unfortunately.
Okay. Sounds like quite complicated. Like,
yeah. Oh, I should say the blind category as well. They're like insane climbers and one of the biggest category. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're visually impaired, you can climb as well.
This is quite a satisfying pinch.
Yeah.
Tried some top rope, and now I feel like it's time. The time has come to do some lead climbing. So this is typically where I get a little nervous. If I'm above my belt, I find it quite difficult. So I feel like you're going to have to provide the moral support.
That's fine, we can do that. I'm a bit funny when it comes to lead climbing, so I'll stick on 5s because I know I can definitely top them and not fall off. But then I really like doing some kind of 6As, 6A pluses, because although I shouldn't fall off that route, I have to think about it a bit more because all my climbing comes through my upper body. So as soon as I'm taking a hand away to clip, I need to know that I'm on a kind of stable clipping position, but a bit more than you would think about. And if there isn't a nice jug for me to hold on, it's quite tricky to clip.
Sure.
But that doesn't tend to crop up in like 5s. I can't, when I fall off a lead route, I can't always save myself, and I just kind of hit the wall like a, packet of potatoes or something. And so we might stick to the 5 to be on the safe side.
Would you generally recommend that to people, say if they were like a bit intimidated by lead climbing or rope climbing?
I think you always have to lead climb to start with, a couple of grades lower than what you would on a top rope. I think with a lot of paraclimbers, there's a lot more risk involved. So like I know I can't catch myself very well. So normally you'll see people kind of do the like frog position. I can't do that. I don't quite have the reflexes. So I try to, not do myself too much damage. But there are harder routes that I can climb, and it's because they're set in a way that I can clip.
Because ultimately it's quite an individual choice, right?
Yeah.
Like you're saying, your
But-
grade is probably different from somebody else's.
Yeah, massively. But I still think overall, there's an element of risk involved, and you want to make sure you're safe and you're comfortable. It's a high clip, but I'm stable. Yeah. Yep.
Nice, Lucy.
remembering to kind of not clip too high. So that's something I always do, just because I get worried that I'm going to fall off on the next move. So then I'm like, oh, I reach up and clip really high, forgetting that actually that's worse. So it's nice to practice, yeah. Nice to practice getting the clip a bit closer and clipping.
Got any tips or advice for Hannah?
Yeah, some words of wisdom
Words of confidence?
needed.
Yeah, I think it's just confidence, isn't it? Like,
Just don't think about it too much.
no, I have to properly psych myself up, and even once I've clipped and I'm at a move and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to fall off this.
Yeah.
Everything goes round in my head and I'm like, right, just take a minute, just breathe. If I need to down climb one move so I'm in a good resting position, fine, and then just carry on. But you'll be all right. You got it?
Yeah.
Yep. Nice. First clip done.
Okay.
I'm probably in your way now. There you go.
I think that's all right. Well, help if I could find my chalk bag. Sorry, try and not rain chalk on you.
It's all right. It's part of belaying.
Comes with the territory.
Nice.
I can use the volumes, yeah?
Pardon?
Can I use the volume?
Yeah. You got it?
Yeah.
It's at the top?
Yeah.
Awesome, cool. Lean back and hold on to your knot.
Pardon?
Lean back and hold on if you're at the top. Nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Feel for you.
Yeah, really cool. I really liked it. It was like, I was just saying, it's like quite a different style, obviously, to like bouldering. A lot more like, you get more into like a rhythm, nice flow. But that was nice that I had a little bit of time to think. I felt like I wasn't really panicked at any point. There was a few moments where I was like, oh, I don't really want to trust. Like some of these feet were a little bit. But on the whole, yeah, it was really very pleasant
Yeah,
climb.
it looked really good.
Okay, so the thing that I wanted to do before I left was really challenge myself, not necessarily physically, but psychologically. So to do that, we've come to kind of like the big, overhanging, like the most intimidating for me wall. And we're going to try a 6C, which is also the hardest grade I would have tried today. I'm not quite sure if it's maybe a bit of an overreach, but that's fine. The kind of goal of this climb is to have it be a really good challenge. It's this green one here, which to a boulderer's eye looks like it's all like really nice holds. And I keep doing this, I keep looking at routes and being like, oh, those holds look great. And then realizing that actually there's like, how tall would you say this wall is?
How many meters is this wall, James?
14 meters of climbing to get to the top. So anyway, it's on these like axis green juggy holds, but it is quite steep. So I feel like there's going to be some moves that feel quite powerful and feel like you actually have to like really give it some the right amount of turning your brain off and not worrying about the potential fall. But I'm nervous, I'm excited. I feel like I've really enjoyed getting into the groove of like lead climbing. Like on that blue that I just did, I was really trying not to think about the like being above my clip, trying not to think about what I was scared of, but focus more on the climbing. So I'm going to try and do this on this one, but I pretty much know for fact, or I'm anticipating with a reasonable degree of certainty that this is going to be a lot more of a like psychological challenge for me. So
You look up at it. I'll get shots behind you.
Yep.
and do this.
I can't see your clips. You've got this. We got it.
That was so fun. Ah, but scary, but like scary in a good way.
Not aware what you're doing. You wouldn't look down and you look right at them.
No.
And the look in your face. I couldn't tell if it was like panic or like, I'm doing it.
It was probably panic. I did panic a little bit at the bit where I'd like dropped back down a bit. I couldn't figure that out. But it always feels like you're up there for like 10 hours and actually it was probably just 10 seconds of
Like 5 minutes.
I feel like you get like a different sense of satisfaction from, because I guess because you invest like more time and more figuring out and more like moves and yeah, just time on the wall, that coming back down after a route just feels like more satisfying. I'm really pleased with that. There was a little bit at the top, or like maybe 3/4 of the way up, where I had to drop back down and I couldn't quite figure out the move, and I thought that they don't call it flash, do they? It's an on-site. I thought the on-site was gone, but it wasn't. It was on. Just had to like calm myself down. I think something that I really like about lead climbing, I'm just now discovering upon reflection, is it's so much more mindful. On a route, you've got a lot of time to spend with the wall, with like your body, figuring it out, and I like that. I enjoyed that. It's put me in a right good mood. That brings to an end my first lead climbing experience in a very long time. I really enjoyed that, I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
You did really well.
Thank you for taking me through the ropes, and yeah, I had a lot of fun. It feels like we've been here basically all day and we've pretty much done everything they have to offer. Started off with the auto relays, did some top rope, did some lead, and I had a great time. How's your day?
Yeah, really
enjoy
fun.
it?
You
Yeah.
know, I love climbing. And so any opportunity to be in a centre and climb with people is always a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it was great. Again, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it. So I'm going to leave Lucy's information in the description of this video, so make sure you go and check her out. And I also wanted to say a massive thank you to the depot for inviting us down to try out their new centre. It is a really cool facility, and I say this after every lead session I ever do, but I really do feel like we will be back, and I've left a few kind of things here and there that I looked at today that I was like, I want to try that, I want to try that, I want to try that. So I'll be back, and thanks for watching. We will see you in my next video.